Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchup predictions for the week of the 28th of November. Plenty to cover as always guys, so we can smash like to be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. All the links are down below for playlists in the channel and social media links as always. And remember to check out everyone involved in the predictions league, currently sitting second. Everyone's getting it's very tight, there's only a handful of points separating first to last, so it's been a very fun and competitive league. So first route for this week is St Etienne versus Nantes. Obviously we had a French route this week which I predicted right, which I was quite chuffed about, because I kind of thought we're finally going to get one. But St Etienne Nantes, don't really fancy it compared to other options. 5 out of 10, 77, 78 rated you'd probably have to do. But St Etienne and Nantes players, you'd go for like Phil Catherine, Pogba, Salah the striker. There's not much really else you could go for between both teams. You target the goals mainly, but I personally wouldn't see this route happening. As I said, there's stronger options, and that's why this has been given a 5 out of 10 for in terms of likelihood. But still, keep yourself prepared as always in case it happens. 2 EPL routes this week with Arsenal versus Manchester United, which I'm only giving a 5 out of 10 guys. Because we've got the North London derby, I think they'll move away from Arsenal Manchester United because too much emphasis on it, and prices for Arsenal are already inflated. Southampton versus Bournemouth is the alternative. That's more a 6 out of 10, but I still feel they're not going to touch the EPL this week. I think they'll give this a week's break, and then they might focus on maybe the following week or the week after. There's plenty big EPL games over the next coming weeks. As I said, 5 and 6 out of 10, but the requirements would be roughly the same. There'd be about 78, 79 rated squad, with a handful of players in the EPL. As I said, they can hold it off for a week quite easily. As I said, there's bigger games coming up over the next few weeks in the EPL. But still, if you want to be prepared, you'd go for like Fellaini, Begovic, Soares, these kind of players. So totally up to you guys and how you want to go for it. If you fancy an EPL route, go for it. Then Italy, Napoli versus Juventus. I've given this a 6 out of 10 for this week. I feel it's a big game between the top two in Italy. Well, technically third actually, because Juventus currently sitting third just now because Inter have second. But for me, I would personally say it's not going to happen. If Juventus were second, or maybe even go second into this game, then it could happen, and then it would go up to 7. But it's my outside shout for a big game for this week. Napoli players, you could go Raul Albiol, you could go Chiriches, Juventus can go Asamoah, De Siglio. You've got plenty to kind of work from, but be wary of this route if it was to crop up. It's not a given, but it's not a guarantee either. EFL route is a FA Cup tie between Wimbledon and Charlton. Could I see this happening? Yes and no. I don't personally fancy it because they're not doing cup games. They just don't seem to fancy saying that. They did the Rio Ave Braga game, which was a cup game, and that was just completely random. But this one is a second round FA Cup tie. It's a London derby, but the stronger outfits this week. 67 rated, 5 out of 10. If they had been doing cup games, I would have probably pushed this to a 6, but for me, it's got a half chance of featuring for this week. Charlton players, you could go for like, Dodo. He's one example. Dude at left mid. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. The other EFL alternative, if you want to call it that way, is one of the Birmingham derbies, which is Birmingham versus Wolves. I really fancy this. I've given this a 7 out of 10. The reason why I fancy it is because they need a mid-tiered kind of route, and this is the kind of route that they can go for. Birmingham players, there's plenty to work for, like Grounds, they do that right wings, Castillo, or for Wolves you've got like Jota, Neves, Hyder Costa, these kind of players. There's plenty of gold, especially for Wolves, so you've got plenty to work with. Ndiaye is another one, so you can easily go for a bulky gold route. And plus, a lot of the Championship players are already kind of inflated because of the Sean Maguire SBC, so be fully aware of that. Young Boys versus FC Thun in Switzerland. It's got a funny name. It's like the Lower Swiss Derby or something. I can't remember what it's precisely called. I've seen different names for it, but some people fancy this, some people don't. I'm kind of in the middle ground, and because we've had our Swiss routes earlier, Young Boys in Thun is a 5 out of 10. You can probably bulk up with a healthy amount of goals like Soleimani, Anderson, Barnetta, Ahuru, Van Wolfswinkel and then bulk up a pile of bronzes and silvers. You could bulk up it to like a 70 rated squad quite easily with a handful of gold, a handful of bronzes and silvers. But it would be relatively cheap, and you'd probably like somewhere between a 10 and a 20k pack, depending on which kind of pack they fancied. Then Besiktas versus Galatasaray. This is one of the biggest games in Turkey. Very, very hot derby, and I really fancy this. This is a 7 out of 10 route. We've not had the Turkish league for a while, Turkish league route for a while, and I really do fancy this. Besiktas and Galatasaray players you probably go for would be like Gonal. You then look between maybe Anan and Derdiok. Then like maybe buy players like Kameni, Skirtle, these kind of options. Galatasaray and Besiktas. There's plenty to work for between the teams. Master left back. Be wary that it could be exactly gold. So the left centre back I would change to give it a gold. That's my safety net options for you guys. MLS second leg tie, Columbus Crew and Toronto. I fancied this last week as a 7 out of 10. I still fancy it again as a 7 out of 10. These are the kind of games that if they're not going to feature, then they're never going to feature them at all. But it's players you would look at would be like Altidore, Bradley, Nagbe, Alessandrini, Howard, Martinez, Almiron. And then Columbus Crew's mostly silvers, but but still got gold like Higuain for example. But I still quite heavily fancy this. And due to the importance of the game for both teams, this is like a marquee matchup, and it's the Trillium Cup Derby or whatever it is as well. That's why I quite fancy it, and it would be a good mid-tier route to kind of balance out with Wales. And they can kind of bulk up to make it a little bit harder and a little bit more expensive. MLS Player of the Year drops soon as well. The Portuguese option is Porto versus Benfica. This is another 7 out of 10 option, and I really do fancy it. It's one of the biggest derbies in Portugal, and it's almost like seemed odd why they picked Rio Ave a couple weeks ago. But I'd fancy this to happen. I've bulked up with quite a few Sporting, but you could go like Rafa, Herrera, Corona, and Reyes. There's plenty to work with in the league between both teams, so you wouldn't feel short at all. 7 out of 10. That's 6 to 10k bracket, 15k pack. Mixing nationalities, mixing rares. I know I build a full league, but it's because I always do it as a safety net, because you never know what they could do. They suddenly could change the goalposts quite easily. So be fully aware of this particular game. But as I said, I do fancy it. Samaras is another one that you kind of go for. The thing is, this is a route with plenty of rares. The final route of the week is Al Hilal versus Al Ahly. This is the third week in a row that Al Hilal are featuring in a marquee matchup. They had the AFC Champions League for 2 weeks running. Now they've got a top of the table clash for the Saudi League. Now you'd almost think something's going to drop between the Saudi League. I have decided to go against it because they just will not seem to feature it. I would say though guys, if you have still got your Al Hilal investments and your Saudi League investments, keep them, and I would keep focused on this, because this is the easy route that they could just suddenly throw in, and they could just say, well, you predicted it the last couple of weeks, but suddenly it's not going to feature. We'll now feature it this week. So be prepared that this can be a curveball route. Hopefully you find this useful as always guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you fancy. Hopefully all of this helps as always guys. Smash likes as always, sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, GZLegend. Take it easy all, and I will catch you all later.